Hey everybody, how you doing today? I'm East Coast Pete. Today I'm looking at the Buzzcocks. They're an English punk band from Manchester all the way back in 1976. Singer-songwriter Pete Shelley and singer-songwriter Howard Devoto are given credit for influencing the Manchester music scene in the 70s, including DIY, punk rock, power pop, and pop punk. A collection of singles titled Singles Going Steady was described by pro-punk critics as a punk masterpiece. Orgasmatics, He's Always At It, What Do I Get? This band is monumentally original. They're a treasure. Buzz is the excitement. Cock is Northern England slang for friend. So literally this name means the friend of excitement. Yes, they were aware of the sexual connotation of the name, but innuendo is a thoroughly rock and roll trait. Devoto left in 77. Steve Diggle was now the front person. Manny Perizzoli is contributing on guitar. You know, someday all of this will be in the past. They began at the Bolton Institute of Technology. And by the end of 75, Howard Trafford and Pete McNeish recruited a drummer, and this is the embryo of what became the Buzzcocks. They only first performed April at 76 at the college stage. Names were assumed. Oh yeah, okay, so they became different people. Garth Davies played bass and Mike Singleton played drums, and Shelley and Devoto, as they were now called. You know, kind of like an on-again, off-again thing at first, because, you know, they were in college, and college sometimes gets in the way of things, doesn't it? Well, they traveled to London to see a Sex Pistols show. Oh no. They had seen an NME review, and the Pistols show was like a Pied Piper of Hamelin, but not as sinister, I guess. That Hamlin guy was creepy. Another show they saw was at the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester in June of 76. And the Buzzcocks were scheduled to play in support. Excuse me one moment. Take care of a little housekeeping, I guess you'd call it. Where were we? The other show in Manchester in 76. Like I said, the Buzzcocks were scheduled to play in support of the Sex Pistols, but the other musicians weren't game. So it's like they decided to recruit Steve Diggle and John Marr. It's like, you know, we were scheduled to play that show in Manchester in support of the Sex Pistols, but there were a couple guys in our band that just weren't into the idea, or maybe they were scared of this, you know, somebody as huge and influential as the punk gods of England. Don't see how that happened that quickly, but anyhow, those two guys are out, you two guys are in. And then in July, that fall, Malcolm McLaren organized a 2-day punk fest. Performers were the Sex Pistols, Subway Sect, Susie and the Banshees, The Clash, The Vibrators, The Damned, and the Stinky Toys from France. And the Buzzcocks, of course. Imagine what those 2 days must have been like. Yikes. By December, the Buzzcocks recorded and released an EP named Spiral Scratch on their own New Hormones label. This release was the first indie punk release and the second punk single, trailing only Australia's The Saints. Now, I believe I did a show about The Saints a long time ago. I'm not sure if it's still out there or if it's floating around in hyperspace somewhere. DeVoto left. He decided that punk was already stale, and he returned to college, and he would form an early post-punk band called Magazine. Shelley was now the vocalist. He is a tenor, and this set the Buzzcocks aside from other bands. Diggle switched from bass to guitar, and Garth Davies returned on bass, but he was unreliable, so they let him go. And Steve Garvey would replace him. No, not the Dodgers first baseman. The Buzzcocks signed with United Artists Records on August 16th of 1977, and the same day that Elvis Presley died. I don't know if that is in any way significant, but there it is. Their first single for United was titled Orgasm Addict, and the BBC refused to play it. And this version of the band released 3 LPs, and their trademark became pop melodies with punk energy. And they toured widely, but by the next decade, punk was overrun by several post-punk genres, and the buzz was gone in '81. Yeah. So, they reformed in the 90s, but not to anything big. Except when they toured with Nirvana. That was kind of big. And they also supported Pearl Jam in 2003, and that was kind of big. But a heart attack took Shelley in 2012. So here's the discography. 1, Another Music in a Different Kitchen in 78. You know, this is better than Bowie back then. The Buzzcocks are to punk what the Kinks were to the Brit Invasion. 2, Love Bites in 78. 3, A Different Kind of Tension in 79. 4, Trade Test Transmissions in 93. And I can't even begin to describe how joyful this music is. 5, All Set in 96. 6, Modern in 99. And 7, Buzzcocks in 03. And 8, Flat Pack Philosophy in 06. This is power prog punk pop. 9, The Way in 14. No matter what I say, you're going to do it anyway. Yes, the Buzzcocks have it. 10, and don't forget Singles Going Steady. Okay, that was the album I wanted to talk about. You've got to hear this. You just got to stop what you're doing, turn East Coast Pete off, and go look at the Buzzcocks Singles Going Steady. Now. Alright, you're still there? Here are the songs. 1, Orgasmatics. 2, What Do I Get? 3, I Don't Mind. 4, Love You More. 5, Ever Fallen in Love with Someone You Shouldn't Have Fallen in Love with? Yes. 6, Promises. 7, Everybody's Happy Nowadays. Yes, they do have it going on. 8, Whatever Happened To? Question mark. You gotta fill in the blank there. 9, Oh Shit. And you know, every song is a wow. Even Oh Shit. 10, Autonomy. Wow. 11, Noise Always. Meant to say Noise and Noise, because it's true. 12, Just Lost. 13, Lipstick. 14, Why Can't I Touch It? Now that's a question I've often asked myself. And 15, Something's Gone Wrong Again. Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle. What a great band this is. And I just wanted to mention that I have noticed that the absolutely best 3 punk bands in existence are all known because they are not primarily punk. So this genre built up around all these bands doing primitive stuff, right? And they called it punk, and some of them said, okay, we're punk, and some said, no, we're not. And the 3 most important ones are the ones that said, no, we're not. So, what does that say about punk? Of course I like it. It's easy to play. It's easy to relate to. It's youth trying to make a statement. That's what it's supposed to be. Just making a statement. But these guys are not only making a statement, they are damn good musicians, and you gotta hear them, because my God, I was like, why didn't I know more about this back then? Ha! East Coast Pete comes late to the game again. I just love these guys. Can't get enough.